think we could actually be friends after this? You know what you're doing.
We need to save this for when the camera's on.
That's fine. I think they're rolling right now.
It starts off camera, but they're so panicked. And then as soon as they start talking to each other, you can see the tension change in the room. I mean, I was like a spectator for most of it, which was fantastic for me. Best bad blood would never.
Oh, this was the first time in my life that I've ever seen a fighter lose and then go on some type of victory tour. This guy.
No, there was
this
no.
guy was
there
going
was
to
no,
events.
There was no.
He was doing interviews.
Listen, we were
buying cars.
Chris, no, that was your car that you gave me. That was the 500 grand for your unprofessionalism that gave me that car.
You flew over to America. You're taking pictures of people. Oh, I'm so grateful for the love and the support the fans are showing me. You're going on like you won. You do understand you lost, right?
You want me to finish?
He had all 10 toenails.
First fight was
Fight of the year contender. And for me, you're going to get exactly the same next time, but we just need a little bit more smartness from Conor Benn. The heart's great, but don't be so reckless and wild when you can outbox this guy. And he's brought in Eubank, one of the best trainers in the world.
The heated confrontation between Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. after their latest press conference revealed far more than simple bad blood. It offered a clear glimpse into where both fighters stand mentally as they head toward their high-stakes rematch. Benn tried to portray himself as the respectful warrior.
It's been a lot of respect anyway, personally. I don't like him. You know, he thought I was going to be an easy touch, which is why he fought welterweight. So is there much respect there? Not really, but you know, ultimately, you know, I'm ready to honour my side of the agreement, which was the 2-fight deal, and it's safe to say he's scared. You know, he almost lost. Could have gone either way to a well.
A man seeking redemption, but his tone told a different story. His words carried hesitation rather than conviction, sounding less like statements of belief and more like carefully packaged excuses. It felt as though Benn was trying to convince himself that he still belonged in this fight. Eubank Jr., on the other hand, radiated complete composure. His
can prod, but the fact is, we created something special. We're going to try and create something even more special November 15th. Animosity is still there, but it's not like it was before, where it was like, I've been waiting for 3 years to fight this guy, and I just want to get my hands on him. I've got my hands on him now. I've beaten him. So now it's kind of like, all right, well, we're going to do it again. We're going to do it even better. Let's see what happens, you know? It's a different energy.
Do you see yourself knocking him out this time round?
I think so. That's the goal. That's going to be the game plan. I don't want to have another 12-round fight. So if I can get him out of there, I'm going.
Confidence wasn't loud or theatrical. It was calculated and chillingly precise. Staring directly at Benn, Eubank delivered a simple but devastating reminder. I've beaten you before. This time it's going to be brutal. No hiding behind 12 rounds. I'm coming to shut you down early. This wasn't typical pre-fight.
It's a fight that probably means a lot less for boxing than what it does for the actual fighters. You know, the fighters, for them, there's a lot at stake. Conor Benn wants to overturn the decision. And Chris Eubank wants to cement the decision, say, I've done it twice. Bottom line is, they're making big bunts, aren't they? Big dollar, and they might as well make money. These are prize fighters. We can't begrudge them making money fighting, because that's what they do. That's why they get it.
Trash talk. It was a statement of pure intent, a cold threat backed by history. The moment Eubank spoke, Benn's slight flinch revealed more than words ever could. The first fight still lingers in his mind. Boxing legend Carl Froch, never one to sugarcoat his opinions, captured the heart of the matter. This is personal. Froch declared. Benn, he explained, is driven by desperation.
You could say the same when he slapped me, punched me, whatever it was. You know, it's like he's got to play this victim card. He needs to shift that victim mentality, or it's the narrative he's pushing. So whatever he's doing, it really don't concern me.
Desperation, a burning need to erase the memory of his defeat. Eubank's motivation, however, is entirely different. He isn't fighting out of emotion. He's fighting for legacy. Winning this rematch isn't just about victory for Eubank, it's about proof.
This guy has zero respect for anything. And I hope people can see through it. Some will, some won't. But if you can't see them, that's a lot of what happened up there was just wrong. So listen, we go to work and we're in to win the fight. It's going to be different this time.
Loving dominance. That distinction matters. Benn is fueled by revenge, an emotional fire that often clouds a fighter's judgment in the ring. Eubank, meanwhile, is focused on cementing his place among boxing's great rivalries, by doing what few fighters ever achieve, defeating a rival twice in decisive fashion. As Froch's analysis gained traction, Benn tried to fight back verbally, claiming Eubank hadn't broken him, and insisting there was no respect between them. But the more Benn spoke, the more frustrated he sounded. His denial didn't weaken Froch's point. It reinforced it. Every word revealed that Eubank was living rent-free in Benn's head. Promoter Eddie Hearn quickly stepped in to defend Benn, attempting to shift the narrative by casting Eubank as the villain.
Hearn's Conor Benn. But I want him just to be a little bit smarter. We can't, like Nigel said, he's just winging away. And the heart's great, the balls are great, but you can outbox this guy as well. You're going to have to stand and fight because he's going to try and walk you down and be the bigger man. But just be a little bit smart with it.
Hearn talked about zero respect and painted Benn as a wronged warrior. Yet even Hearn couldn't fully hide the cracks in Benn's armor. He admitted Benn has a tendency to fight recklessly, relying too heavily on raw aggression rather than strategic discipline. Against lesser opponents, that kind of wild intensity might work. But against a methodical technician like Eubank Jr., it's a recipe for disaster. Eubank's sharp jab, patience, and ability to dictate distance are perfectly suited to dismantling fighters who charge forward with emotion instead of control. When your own promoter subtly warns that passion alone won't win the fight, it signals a deeper problem. Benn's approach may not be enough. History shows Benn has a habit of falling back on pride, which plays directly into Eubank's hands.
I'm going to tell you right here and now, you ain't no champ. And you most definitely ain't no people's champ, so get that out of your head. You keep letting Eddie Hearn blow smoke up your ass and you're going to end up being even more of an embarrassment than he is. These men are not men of the people. They are pretending. They're pretending to be the good guys. Wolves in sheep's clothing, if you will. They will do anything they can.
Turns tactical battles into chaotic firefights, and that's where Eubank thrives. Eubank's danger extends beyond his physical skill set. He is a master of psychological warfare, winning fights mentally before a single punch is thrown. At their press confrontation, Eubank systematically chipped away at Benn's confidence. He mocked Benn's image as the people's champion, called him a fraud, and dismissed his career as hype propped up by clever promotion. These words stung because there was some truth behind them. Benn is undeniably popular, but popularity isn't proof of greatness. Eubank, having already beaten him, has earned the right to speak with such authority. Every insult from Eubank landed like a jab, keeping Benn reactive, angry, and predictable. Exactly the state Eubank wants him in. This is vintage Eubank. Win the mental battle first, then dominate physically. By framing Benn as an embarrassment, Eubank feeds off his rival's insecurities.
I do see improvement there for Conor. And I do think the results will be different the other way around in the next fight. I think it'll go the distance all over.
Dictating the fight before the opening bell even rings. Not everyone agrees with this assessment, though. Former cruiserweight champion Johnny Nelson has publicly suggested that Benn has the edge in the rematch. Nelson argues that Eubank is stiff and vulnerable, predicting Benn will overwhelm him this time around. It's a bold take, but one that clashes with the reality of their first encounter. In their initial fight, Eubank controlled the pace and distance with clinical precision. He neutralized Benn's wild aggression, shutting down reckless attacks before they could build momentum. Labeling Eubank as stiff ignores just how effectively he dismantled Benn's offense. If anything, Benn appeared one-dimensional, hitting a clear ceiling against Eubank's superior ring IQ. Nelson believes Benn has improved since then, but even a slightly
worst pains you'll ever have. But listen, it's been done. Some find it funny, some don't. It's all part and parcel. When you get involved in these kind of things, you have to just accept it. And everyone's bought into the fight. We all know the drama, the rivalry's real. My greatest worry is these two boys don't bump into each other when no one's around.
Yeah,
because if they do, it's happening. 100%. It's worse than that, mate. It's
a sharper version of a reckless fighter isn't enough to defeat someone as disciplined and experienced as Eubank Jr. Improvement alone doesn't close the gap when one fighter has a decisive edge in composure, intelligence, and psychological control. As the rematch approaches, the narrative is clear. Benn is chasing ghosts, fighting to rewrite the past. Eubank Jr. is chasing history, aiming to etch his name alongside the great rivalries of the sport. The contrast between emotion and calculation couldn't be starker. When the bell rings, Benn will bring fire and aggression, Eubank will bring precision and control. And as Carl Froch so aptly put it, one man's desperation might not be enough against another man's legacy. For Tony Bellew, a man who has always cautioned against underplaying emotion in boxing, This rematch between Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. goes far beyond sport. This isn't just a fight, it's war, Bellew declared. Pride, pain, and raw emotion are fueling this clash.
Unbelievable fight. I remember watching it. One of the best fights I've seen. I wasn't there live. I'd like to get to this next one, but I think it's not going to be another great fight, and I'm going for Conor Benn for the win.
Do you believe he stopped Eubank this time?
Definitely capable.
And that Bellew believes is where Eubank thrives. His words cut to the heart of what separates these two men. Eubank feeds on pressure, turning the intensity into fuel. Benn, by contrast, seems to crumble under its weight, already cracking beneath the mountain of expectation. When Benn openly admitted there was no respect between them, Bellew didn't hear strength. He heard insecurity. Eubank, however, treated the rivalry as business. Serious, yes, but never consuming. That difference in mentality could ultimately decide the fight. Rising contender Jack Catterall, riding high from his own career resurgence, expressed excitement for the rematch. He described their first clash as unbelievable, and even tipped Benn to win. His enthusiasm was genuine, but it felt more like hopeful cheerleading than sharp analysis. Belief alone doesn't win fights. Benn may possess power and passion, but capability without composure rarely beats a technician like Eubank Jr.
And so this fight can only harm him. Because that was a hard fight, the first one. This one will be another hard fight, whoever wins, unless there's a real freak occurrence, not a freak occurrence, unless someone gets caught with the shot really early, then it's going to be a hard night. Which you still have to make Eubank the favourite again, like I did the first time. I mean...
The first fight proved that fire alone burns out when matched against patience and precision. Catterall's prediction may rally Benn's fans, but it doesn't erase the structural flaws in Benn's style. Veteran analyst Barry Jones delivered the most balanced breakdown. He praised Benn's toughness and acknowledged the brutality this rematch promises. However, he still leaned heavily toward Eubank Jr. as the rightful favorite. According to Jones, the only way Benn flips the script is if he lands something freakish and early. A true lottery punch. Otherwise, Eubank's consistency, stamina, and ring IQ will inevitably take over. Jones's assessment rings true. Boxing at this elite level isn't about gambling. It's about reliability under pressure. And Eubank has already shown he can take punishment, stay composed, and continue dictating pace. The first fight proved it. The second